hardcore training call. And today is Wednesday, November 25th. So as you can see, I've got the Christmas tree in the back. We're getting ready for the holidays. Everyone's crazy busy. I get it. But, you know, it's really a sign of a leader and someone who really wants to work their business. If you can learn how to prioritize your time and still fit in your business and still make your family and being with your family and being present with your family your priority. So with that being said, I'm not going to go through a whole bunch of announcements. I do obviously want to mention that Hammer and Chisel launches next week, Tuesday. That's huge. Be in tune with the emails that I'm sending and the Facebook groups and the information so that you know what's going on. And just realize whenever there's a product launch, there's usually like a few glitches here and there. And I usually don't tell my customers, you know, Tuesday morning, you know, buy Hammer and Chisel, because a lot of times Tuesday morning it's not there yet. And so I know I would get flooded with questions like, why isn't it there? Or coaches saying, why isn't it there? Truth of the matter being, you know, it should be there by, you know, Tuesday night. So just give it some time, be patient. You might not see the challenge pack at first, or you might not see the deluxe kit at first, or you might not see all the different options and all the different screens at first, right? So just be patient, because as they load things, it takes time and they don't do it all in every screen at once. They don't do it that way. So just be patient. And trust me, this is not a race to make a whole bunch of sales or anything. I definitely am going to be buying it myself, and I hope that you will be too. And like I said, be watching your emails, because I'm going to be doing special things that you can be involved in. So I want you to, you know, be aware. So that's one thing. And secondly, this is a great opportunity. You know, we're at December 25th right now, before the Thanksgiving holiday, for those of you that are in the US. And, you know, after Thanksgiving is when some people are like, you know what, I need to do something. And so you've got the whole weekend to help some people. You know, this is what this call is about, the 3 Lives Club. And so I know Scotty's going to go into that, and it would be a great opportunity to, you know, to help some people before the month even ends. So I want to go into introducing Scotty to you. He's a dad and he's a husband, and with his business, he's a 9-star diamond in CBC 1. He's a qualifying 9-star in his second CBC. So obviously he's about to go probably 15-star in both CBCs before too long. He's a Success Club 10 All-Star legend. He's been in the elite top 25 coaches for 3 years. And although this wasn't listed, I know this for a fact, he was top 10 one of those years, because he was top 10 one of the years that I was top 10. And Scotty's one of the few male coaches who had extreme significant success with this business. And when you hear him speak today, I know you'll know why. I followed Scotty on social media. I've seen his YouTube trainings, and you listen to him and you listen to his trainings and you listen to him speak from the heart. And if you listen to his National Wake Up Call talking about overcoming fear, you understand why he is where he is. And also, if you see his transformation story, it's not just about being a smart business person, just about doing certain activities. You also have to be a product of the product. You have to. And that might be for some people, you're just missing one thing, and that might be what you're missing. You're not showing that you're being a product of the product. So that's huge. So he's also a member of the Millionaires Club as well. He's just very smart, very real. I think in order to be real and raw like that, you have to have confidence. He's got that inner confidence. And I just think that if you're not following him, please do. And get your notepad ready. I'm ready to take notes myself, because with that, we've got Scotty Hobbs. Are you there?
I am here. Thank you, Janelle.
You're welcome.
So I'm super excited to talk to you guys today. I'm going to talk, first of all, I'm going to share some vulnerable parts of my story. Like, you guys heard the part of the story I talked about on the National Wake Up Call just a couple weeks ago, where I focused mainly on fear, that we all have fears, and some of us still have fears, but the thing that we do is we have courage to face those fears. And, you know, I still have a ton of fears, and, you know, every day is a challenge. Like, how can I face a fear today and grow and help other people do that? So, you know, I'm not going to talk about that part of the story. I want to share some things from my story, but on that National Wake Up Call, I talked about the fears I had of becoming a Beachbody coach. Like, I wanted to become a coach. I knew, parts of me knew that it was the answer that I've been looking for my whole life, to to take care of my family in a better way, but I was afraid of failures. And, there was that day that I talked about that my fear of knowing how to take care of my family become greater than my fear of failing as a coach. So at that moment, that's the day that I signed up as a coach. I get asked all the time, when did this business click for you? Or when did you know that you were going to make it in this business? And it was that day on April 11th, 2011, because I made a true decision, like a real decision that I was going to do this. And I understood it would be overwhelming. I didn't know what it would take. I didn't know what it even meant. And to be honest, I didn't even know we were a network marketing company. I just felt, when I signed up, I felt so good with the way that my coach, Lindsay, made me feel, that I decided that, like, deep down inside, I knew that my mindset was that everybody should be a coach. I didn't know what it meant to sign up coaches or how to become a diamond or any of that on day one, but I began to learn that stuff. So the part of my story that I want to talk about, I'm going to take you guys back just a little bit more so that you guys can understand me just a little bit. So, my whole life I struggled with self-esteem, like really bad. So, I was the guy that had the really crooked big glasses starting in elementary school. I think it was like 5th grade. I always had braces, but I got the headgear. You guys remember the headgear that, like, the bars come in and then it comes around and it's got a strap over the top of your head and one around the back. So that was me. And, I just had bad self-esteem because that, you want to look good, you want to be, I guess, attractive. Most people want to, to be an attractive person. And I felt that I wasn't that person. And that was my whole life. After I got out of that, got contacts, I remember, in 8th grade. And I remember I got, I was the guy that had a ton of acne. So now I'm like, oh man, now that's over. I got the acne problem. That's never going away. It felt like, right? So I just struggled with self-esteem. So I want you guys to understand me a little bit. One of the keys to success, I guess, in my business, and so you can understand what I'm going to teach you guys about the 3 Lives Club and being disciplined, is that I always tried to compensate for my self-esteem by being accepted in certain ways. So to be accepted, I wasn't the good-looking guy, let's say, but I would put all my energy into mastering something so I could be really good at it, so somebody could say, that's awesome, or that's cool. And then I felt accepted. That was the way I did. So, like, I'm the guy that would, I remember one of the first things I did was skateboarding. I wanted to fit in with somebody, with a crowd, and be able to do tricks. People would be like, that's really cool, Scotty. So, I remember I would, I would bang myself up so bad in my front driveway by myself, learning to do tricks. And, I wanted to jump a garbage can, like, called Ollie a garbage can. And I remember I would spend like 4 hours a night after my homework, and it started with doing a little log. And once I'd get over the little log, I'd stack another, fire log over it. And so I'd just work on these, like, just raise the bar just a little bit each time until I got, over the garbage can. So the same thing applied to that. And then it was snowboarding. I'm going to slow down on that now. I'm 34 and I broke my collarbone in 7 places this last January. So I'm going to slow down on that stuff. But, I did that in my junior high and high school years. And, the same reason we play in a band, I play in a band now, and we produced an album this past April. And, that all started because I was at a school dance, and the group that I was on a group date, and the guys were talking about being in a band. And my friend had taught me, like, Inagata da Vida. It was like 3 notes on his bass guitar. And so they're talking about it. And I wanted to fit in, and I was like, hey, I play the guitar too. I play the bass guitar. And I just said that to fit in, and then they're like, hey, we need a bass player. So I got thrown into that situation where I was like, oh yeah, I can do it. I'll come over. And I didn't really know anything except that one song. But I would they gave me a tape, a cassette tape of all the songs that they played. And I sat in my room every night after school, 5-6 hours, and I would just practice and memorize those songs until I could play them. So I've always been that person that when I decide to do something, and then I go all in with it. Now, unfortunately, that led to some bad events. Well, let's start with one more before, and I'm proud to keep this story to like 10 minutes. But I served a mission for my church. It was something I was raised and decided that I wanted to do. So at 19 to 21, I got sent to Venezuela. So I speak Spanish fluently. I didn't before I left. And, on that mission, so they always they team you up with a companion, and you switch companions every 3 to 6 months. So think about this as we go through this call later. as like an accountability partner. I had a partner, somebody that I worked with one-on-one for a series of months, and then I'd switch to a new one. But what we had to do is, as a missionary, we had to knock on doors and share our message. And I wasn't very good at it, but we had to start somewhere. And aside from sharing the message, you got to realize this is in a different language that I don't know. So we had to just, we had to learn it as we go. And I remember my very first experience, my companion knocked on a door, and I remember he was talking to him. I was just standing there, and I was like, I could catch a few things because we did 2 months of training to learn language, but once you get there, it's absolutely not the same. So I remember, he shut the door, and we were walking to the next house. I was like, that went awesome. And he's like, no, they were talking bad, and they said some cuss words. I was like, oh, he seemed very enthusiastic. So the next door we got to, I'm like, okay, this is like my day one in a new country. And he knocks on the door, my companion, he'd been there for like a year, so he spoke fluently. And he knocked on the door, and then he pushed me right in front. He put me in front of the door. He's like, your turn. And so I had to practice, and it was really horrible, and they hardly understood what I said. But because I tried, and they could tell I was, I'd kind of laugh through it when I couldn't say a word. I guess you could say the word would be, they thought it was cute, I guess. Some white guy trying to talk Spanish. So, I was able to connect with them because I was not very good at it. But I'm sharing this experience because I went through that for 2 years, and, I became very good at it. But, a lot of people wonder, like, how are you so disciplined, or how are you good at time management? How can you have a family of 7, have a full-time band that plays gigs and records in the studio, and then build this business? And it's because during those 2 years, and I'm sharing this because a lot of times you start your business and you're like, how come somebody's a lot faster than me, or they're building a business faster than me? It's because all of us have different life experiences that prepared us for coaching. So, for example, I had 2 years of learning to be disciplined, learning to use a calendar, learning to set appointments, learning to connect with people without ever, on a first, like a cold invite, I guess. So I learned that skill for 2 years, and the discipline part of it. So I want you guys to understand that as you're building your business and as you're starting, that some people have life skills that they've developed, and that's just a skill that you have to realize, I have to develop this skill. That's something that I need to work on or develop. I understand I'm not good at time management, or I understand I'm not good at being disciplined. That's a skill I need to develop. So I want you guys to understand that about me, is I had those skills before I became a Beachbody coach. But the next part that I want to share with you guys, just so you guys can relate with me a little bit, because I like to share struggles, because struggles are relatable. So I came home from my mission, and I was engaged before to somebody other than Gabby, and I played music in Salt Lake City, and I played in a hardcore band. And you guys are gonna laugh at this, but I had the black kind of long hair with a red streak in it. I had golf tees in my ears, and I had 2 lip rings, and I painted my fingernails black. So once again, I can tell you honestly, that goes back to me trying to fit in. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to be accepted. I wanted to be what was cool at the time. And I played 3 times a week, and it was a horrible, poisonous atmosphere to be in. I drank every day, and I actually fell into cocaine addiction accidentally. One day when I was drunk, I tried it, and I became addicted. And luckily, I had a friend who is now one of my diamond coaches, a complete stranger. One day saw me walking down the street to the Gold's Gym. I was trying to get in shape at the same time, and he invited me to his house as a complete stranger. And he gave me some clothes because I looked ragged, because at this time I lived in a house with about 20 other addicts, and I paid $20 a month to sleep on a floor in a room with 3 other guys. In a room, we slept on the floor in a sleeping bag. And luckily this guy, and I'm leading into this because I was one of the lives. We're going to talk about the 3 Lives Club. Even though he wasn't a Beachbody coach, he was a human being that cared about another human being, even though he didn't know me. And he, as a complete stranger, his wife was mad at him. I found out later, but we're great family friends now. But he invited me into his home. He fed me dinner, and he gave me some clothes out of his closet. And he got my phone number and he said, you need to move out of that house. Like, I'm going to help you find an apartment where you're in a better atmosphere. And I moved out of that apartment and slowly transitioned out of that life that I was in. Met Gabby shortly after. And, the rest is history. We have 5 kids now. And I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys. I'm doing this call a little bit on medications. I had my no more baby surgery just about 2 hours ago. So I wanted to share that with you guys because as you share your message and your struggles in life, you're going to be able to connect more with people. And I remember I was afraid to share about my alcoholic and my drug past when I played music in Salt Lake City during that time because I was afraid that I would be judged by family members, cousins, friends, neighbors, people from my church. Like, how come 2 years you're talking about Christ and good things, and then 2 years later you're a drug addict, you're with girls all the time and you're playing music? Like, who are you? Right? So I was afraid of sharing that message, but once I shared that, it helped so many people realize that they have gone through similar things or anything in their life. Help them realize that they often think that their past defines who they're going to be in the future. And just seeing somebody that's been in that situation and then changed their life, helped them believe in themselves, gave them a transference of belief, I call it, that they could create something with their life when before, because of those experiences, they programmed in their mind that, I'm not worthy of success, or I'm not worthy of having anything good in life because I was this person before. So I share that with you guys to know that if any of you guys have ever struggled with anything in your life, or feel guilty about anything in your past, or that you're not worthy of success, I want you to know that you each are worthy of success. You're worthy of making a difference in other people's lives. And I fully believe that you are even more worthy than, I guess I can't say you're more worthy than anybody else, because we all have the same ability and potential, but you have the ability to impact people on a deeper level because you can connect with that story. And I want you guys to know, even sometimes, even I still feel guilty at times, and it's something I'm still working through in my own personal development, because my youngest sister, who is 29, she just got done with drug rehab with meth. She went through a program she was in jail for 2 years, went through a 12-month program, and then 2 months later relapsed, and she went back to jail just a couple months ago. And sometimes I feel guilty that maybe I was that example, So I'm still working through those issues myself every single day of not feeling guilty for, being maybe the person where she felt it was okay because the older brother did it. So I want you guys to know that I still have struggles that I'm going through every day. And that's honestly why I still, along with building a team, that I still do a good solid 6 hours of personal development every single day on audio, so that I can change my mindset and continually grow as a person. So those are a few of my struggles, but I want to talk to you guys specifically about Success Club. And we're going to call it the 3 Lives Club. I can't remember exactly when it was that I kind of coined that phrase, but I am if you guys listened to the National Wake Up Call just a couple of days ago with Missy is a part of our team. And you guys noticed that she talked about love. Like, I'm a love everybody type of person. So I don't like numbers. Like, I don't like to say, hey, I need to get 10 points, this month, because I don't want to look at people like points. So I created that 3 Lives Club for myself, so I could look at people like lives, like my friend. And now it's awesome to see my friend that saved me back then, I guess you could say, as one of our diamond coaches. But he saved my life, so I think of it as the 3 Lives Club. Like, we're gonna, I guess you could say, save 3 lives. We're gonna give 3 people the opportunity and the tools and the support and the love for them to change their life, whether it's financially, or with their health and fitness, with their emotional state, with their relationships. We're gonna give them the tools to change their life, and the goal is gonna be 3 people a month that we can help change their life. So my question I want to ask you guys today, and the one thing that I want to go back to my getting started right call with Lindsay real quick, because I remember getting on a call with Lindsay, and at the time I didn't have internet, I didn't have a smartphone, and I actually went to my neighbor's house just 3 doors down here, did my GSR with Lindsay from his house, did my coach training over there because I didn't have a computer. And I remember talking to her, and I was like, Lindsay, I have to bring my wife home from work. Like, I'm sick. It's been like 4 years, and she works nights and I work days, and we never see each other. I have to bring her home. I need to make $10,000. And she said, I can't promise you $10,000, but I promise that your income will be a direct reflection of the number of lives that you change. So that was my goal. I'm going to change as many lives as it takes. So then obviously my next question is, what does that mean? Like, what kind of goals should I set so that I can bring her home? So I can change all these lives that you say that I can change, because, you know, I hadn't changed anybody's life yet. And she said, you need to hit Success Club 10. That's what she told me. You need to hit Success Club 10 every single month. Now, I didn't know what the standard was. I didn't know what was hard, what's easy. All I knew is that Success Club 10 equals bring your wife home from work. And that's the pain that I was suffering, how to pay my bills and how to bring my wife home. So Success Club 10 is the goal. And I remember, you know, deciding, and the cool thing as well is the Success Club trip, because I also asked her, like, they just barely got back from the cruise, because this is April when I signed up, and I'm like, and how do I go on that trip, because I need to take her on a trip as well when I bring her home from work. And so she told me, you have to hit Success Club, and Janelle will remember this, in 2011, you had to hit Success Club 9 months out of 12. So if you count the months from April, I signed up on April 11th, I have exactly 8.5 months to hit Success Club every single month to make that trip. So I was determined, no matter what it would take, to bring my wife home with hitting this Success Club 10 and getting that free trip. And I knew I had to get to work right away, even though I didn't know what it would take. So I went all in to hit Success Club 10. And that was my goal. So once I hit Success Club 10 the first month, I made this decision that I would never, ever, ever miss Success Club 10. That would be my goal. That was what I was going to do forever. So, and that's still my goal today. I still tell people when they ask me, you know, with your team growing to the size that it is, and I think we're just under 40,000 in our downline right now, I decided that, you know, it can feel overwhelming at times as you're growing a team, but I decided that's the one thing that I can control is my Success Club. So I'll never miss Success Club 10, and that's just a decision I made. It's still one of my affirmations I read every single day. I hit Success Club 10 and 5 with ease. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's not always with ease. It's not always with ease, but that's my affirmation that I say every single day. So the thing that I want to ask you guys, so, you know, we talk about the 3 Lives Club, and we have the same thing. So my goal of Success Club 10 is the 5 Lives Club. So I'm going to find 5 people that I can give them the tools to completely change their life. So the question I want to ask you guys right now is, we're going to talk about the 3 vital behaviors real quick. Be proof the products work, your personal development, and invite. And the only way to hit Success Club is to actually invite somebody, find out what they need, and offer them the tools to help them achieve those goals that they need to meet. So my question to you guys is, I'm going to word it in a little bit different way. So if somebody, and I know I can't see you guys, so I'll pretend I can see you guys raise your hands. So if somebody drinks Shakeology and follows their meal plan and does a 30-minute workout every day, if they do that, if they listen to, you know, some people say listen to 15 minutes a day of personal development. I say at least 30. So if they listen to at least 30 minutes of personal development a day, and if they make genuine connections with at least 2 people a day, I'm not even going to say invite. Like, yes, we have to invite, but we're going to say genuine connections, kind of tying into what Missy Reber talked about on the National Wake Up Call. They ask 2 people a day, how are you doing? How are you feeling? Like, what's going on in your life? How can I help you? So with 2 new people a day, if they do those 3 things, and on that last one of asking 2 people a day, how are you doing, making an invite, we're going to add on there being a part of the team. Like, you guys have an amazing coach, Janelle. If somebody connects with Janelle or connects with other members of your team or gets on calls where you guys discuss and talk about goals and encourage each other. So I'm going to add that to the 3 vital behavior of your invite process. Just being connected with positive people. If they do those 3 things, will their life improve in some way? And so I'm seeing you guys raise your hands right now. Yes, they will. I'll watch Janelle. So if they do those three things, they work out, they move their body 30 minutes a day, they eat right and drink their Shakeology, do personal development, and they connect with people, make genuine good connection with people. And Janelle raised her hand. Their life will improve, right? So my next question, I want you to write this down. So if everybody's life will improve if they do that, who should you invite to become a part of your team or to be a part of your challenge group? And I know the answer is, because I can't hear you guys talk, the answer is every single person in this world. Their life will improve if they do those three things. And that's what we do as coaches, is we just do those three vital behaviors. So when I'm thinking about my goal of hitting Success Club 5, and remember, the 3 Lives Club, we're going to call it, hitting the 3 Lives Club. If we have a goal of hitting the 3 Lives Club every single month, and you know with all your heart that their life will improve with this opportunity, or even being a part of just your challenge group, then you should then feel obligated to give them the tools to save their life. And think of it like my friend Junior, who back when I was in the drug days, right, when I had my worst struggle, my lowest point of my life, he invited me. And his invite is basically what we do as a coach. He asked me, hey, how do you know Spanish? And it's funny, I've never shared this part of it, but I think about it. You guys invite people and they give you excuses sometimes. I don't have money. I don't have this. I'm not ready, or I'm too busy. You know, I lied to him because when he was talking to me, I realized he was the same religion that I was. And so when he asked me how I knew Spanish, I didn't say I learned it serving a mission. I lied to him about how I learned Spanish because I didn't want to be judged by him for where I was at in my life. So, you know, that was my excuse or a lie I did to him. But his invite to me, even though, you know, I wasn't honest with him or truthful with him at that moment, was, hey, do you want to come over and eat dinner with me? You know, do you want to, and then offer me some clothes, right? Offer me food and friendship. So that's what you do as a coach when you're inviting them, is you offer them your friendship. You offer them anything that you've learned. I think the biggest thing we give people as coaches is what we're learning in our personal development. You know, when you're having a conversation with somebody, the importance of your personal development is that even though, like, I have the worst memory, even though you can't remember everything exactly, it's like stored in your subconscious. So when you're talking to somebody, if you're prepared through doing your personal development, when somebody has a struggle, it seems like every time I can pull something from what I read or listened to and give that person something that can help them. And so that's what we do as we're inviting and talking to people and giving them the opportunity to change their life with Team Beachbody. So the thing that we're going to offer every single person, because remember, everybody's life can improve, is we're going to offer them the opportunity or the tools so they can change their life. And it's going to be on so many different levels. And what I want you guys to do, I'm going to give you guys a small assignment. I want you to write down every single way that your life has improved with Team Beachbody. You know, it's your mindset, your confidence, your health, of course, it could even be anything with your fitness. Your cardio is better, you're stronger, you have a better relationship with your spouse, you have a better relationship with your kids. There's so many different ways. I want you guys to write those all down as kind of like the things that you're grateful for with Team Beachbody, so you can really see on a bigger level what you have to give to somebody other than just a opportunity to make a little income to pay off a credit card or, you know, bring a spouse home. So you can help them really understand on a deeper level how Beachbody is going to change your life, because that's what's going to get great coaches on your team, is when they're identifying and seeing those ways that their life are changing. Because we all know that it takes a little bit of time and a lot of work without much financial reward in the beginning. So it's important that you understand that as you give that opportunity to somebody else, how their life is truly going to change. So as far as the 3 Lives Club and the 5 Lives Club, I want to let you guys know, because when I was building my business in the beginning, I wanted to get inside the mind of Lindsay Matway, Janelle Summers, and see what drove them, what made them hit their goals. And so I want you guys to understand, like, I just barely hit Success Club 10 yesterday on the 24th in my business. And we hit Success Club 6 in Gabby's. But what I want you guys to know is we have 6 days left in the month. 6 days. And this is one thing I tell my coaches in my group. I let them know where I'm at. I just hit Success Club 10, the 5 Lives Club. Gabby's at the 3 Lives Club. But I'm going to act today as if I'm at 0. Like I have nothing today. And people ask all the time, like, how do you hit Success Club 10 for 56 months in a row? And it's because I act every day as if I have 0. Like I'm at 0. Like today is my opportunity to give somebody it, because it's my goal is 5 lives in my business, 3 lives in Gabby's. But if I hit that and I'm okay with that, I'm going to stop looking for opportunities to give somebody this opportunity to completely change their life. So every single day, I'm at 0. I'm at 0. and I want you guys to know my goal is 10 by the 10th. 10 by the 10th, and then the next 5 for Gabby by the 15th. And I don't always hit that, but that's my goal. And I'll be honest, when it's like the 8th of November and I was at 2, I'm like, holy crap, I'm way behind and I have to put in more effort. So I always create that urgency for myself. And what that does is it always lines you up with people that you can help in the future. And that's going to take time to create that. You got to start it now, though. You got to make that decision that I'm going to do this right now. And one thing I want you guys to think about is I know a lot of you guys are afraid to talk to people. Like you're afraid to talk to the neighbor that's down the street or the doctor. I want you guys to know my doctor and the 2 nurses today, I have their emails because they're going to get on Shakeology. While they were doing the thing down there, I was talking to them about this call that I was going to do, which led into what do you actually do, which led into me asking how I could help them with their nutrition. So I'm always looking for that opportunity to help people. Even if it's a 67-year-old doctor, I'm going to talk to them because they need health and they need to help other people. So it's important that I give that message to absolutely everybody. And I'm going to give a specific example I talk about so that as you guys are thinking and setting your goals for the 3 Lives Club, or if you're at 0 right now, you have all the time in the world with 6 days left to hit that goal by the end of this month. And what I want you guys to think about is I always so I'm going to help you guys visualize. I live in the back of a cul-de-sac right now. So there's like 6 houses down this side, 6 houses down this side. And I think about what if, for example, the end house there is a Beachbody coach. And I'm not a Beachbody coach. They're a Beachbody coach. I'm just this guy that 5 years ago worked 12 hours a day and had a wife that worked, like she did 8 hours a night. And we're never out socializing and we're never outside the house. It's like I leave before anybody's up at 4:30 in the morning. I come zooming home at 5 o'clock, straight in the garage. Nobody ever sees me. And I'm the guy that, has 2 little girls at home and played Call of Duty at night and drank beer when the kids went to bed. So I'm going to help you guys visualize this. I know there's people like this in your life right now. And you could be that coach at the end of the street and you're like, my coach said I should talk to everybody and offer them, if I can help them, if there's anything I could serve them with. And I know what you're thinking. And it's exactly the way I feel even sometimes, where I have to snap out and be like, I have to talk to this person. Because if that person's a coach and we go back 5 years and it's this, here's Scotty zooming in the garage, playing Call of Duty and drinking a tall boy at night, that coach could be like, I'm not going to talk to him. He works 12 hours a day. He's way too busy for this. His wife works. And I think he just plays Call of Duty and drinks beer all the time. Like, he would never be a great coach. I want you guys to think about that. Like, those people that you're prejudging that would never be a good coach, they could be in pain. They could be just needing maybe they're hiding out drinking beer and playing Call of Duty because they don't have any friendships. And they need people to care about them. And just you not going over there trying to sell a challenge back to them or trying to recruit them to your team, just you going down there and meeting them and becoming their friend could completely change that person's life. And that's exactly what happened. I was introduced to P90X by a neighbor who was not with Team Beachbody. He's not a Team Beachbody coach, but he came to my house as a member of our church because I didn't go to church at the time. And he brought over a plate of brownies. And so this is like an invite. This is what we should do as coaches, minus the brownies. He came, he knocked on my door, and he's like this 230-pound, 6'2" ripped guy. And I'm out of shape, fat, lazy, tired. And he came over and he's like, hey, here's some brownies. Hey, I'm new in the neighborhood. I'm just looking to, I heard you were about my age. I'm just looking to meet some new friends. And so I invited him in. And because he's fit and healthy and I'm not, I asked him, I'm like, dude, how are you so ripped? Like, I've always wanted to be healthier. I'm tired all the time. What do you do? And he just basically told me, I am, the special teams coach for the high school. And I weight train the kids in the morning, the kids before school, all the football players. And he's like, if you want, I can help you. You can come work out with the kids in the gym in the morning. So right there, what did he just do? He just invited me to get healthier and get fitter. He invited to help me become healthier and fitter because I said, he was proof that getting healthy and fit was a good thing. He wasn't a Beachbody coach. And I asked him, hey, how do you do that? Like, how do I get fit? And he made an invite, come to the gym with me. And unfortunately, because I worked at 5:30 in the morning, I couldn't go to the gym at 6. And he just said, you should just try that P90X thing. That's something you can do from home. And so I did P90X. And that's how my whole journey began before Beachbody. So we should be like that guy that's not even a Beachbody coach and becoming friends with people, building genuine relationships with people, listening to them, asking them questions, and inviting them to get healthier. And then just like, he was healthy and fit and strong, we need to be continually become that person ourselves. So that is kind of my mindset and philosophy is everybody needs our help. And we are going to save lives. I look at my job just like as a policeman, a firefighter. Our job is to save lives. Our job is to give them the tools that they can become healthy, fit, strong, and if they need to improve their finances, we also have that where we can help mentor and teach them how to use their story and their message to help other people. So I want you guys to get in your mind right now from that question, if everybody's life will become better by doing these 3 simple things, who should we invite? And then every time you think of a name or you see somebody pull out of their driveway or walking around the block, write their name down and say, I have to meet this person or I have to talk to this person. It's not I have to sell them. I have to pitch them something. I have to ask them about their life, ask them how they're doing, and then find out if there's something I can help them with. So I'm going to leave you guys with 5 questions that I ask myself every day. And this helps hold me accountable to making sure that I hit the 5 Lives Club for me every month, and that my wife, Gabby, hits the 3 Lives Club in her business. So the 5 questions are, and it's, in this business, you guys, I'm sure you guys know, because you guys are a triple 15-star diamond team. You guys have amazing coaches and amazing upcoming coaches and leaders on your team. I know that because I can see it. And so it's important that you guys all take that initiative to hold yourselves accountable, to become the CEO of your own business as you're moving forward in this business. One thing I tell my coaches from the beginning is I'm going to be here for you guys all the time. I'm going to be your strategy guy. I'm going to help you guys learn how to share your message, how to market yourself, how to work with people. And this is what I tell them in our first video chat as a new coach. I say, the minute that you can become independent from me is when you're going to become successful in this business. And I tell them it's not that we're not going to be connected and not going to talk. It's just that it's going to be more of a friendship. We're going to love on each other, give each other advice, lift each other up, be friends. And that's the kind of business partners we're going to be. I'm not going to be your babysitter. And I ask them, does that sound fair? And they say, yes. So I teach them these 5 questions to hold themselves accountable. And I want you guys to write these down. The first one is, what is your why? What is your reason for doing this? And I'm not going to go into detail on these because you guys can write out your answer to this. What is your why? Second one, it's going to seem a little confusing, and it is a trick question. What is your IQ? And by IQ, it means your I quit level. So at what level are you going to quit working on your why and your dream? And either these are 5 questions I ask myself every single day. And it's a trick question, by the way. So what is your IQ? What is your I quit level? At what level do you stop working towards your why? At what level do you say, I guess I'm okay where I'm at. I don't need to bring my wife home. So, and that's going to help you really dial into your commitment level on building your business and helping people and staying committed to your why. Third question is, who do I need to associate with to grow? Who do I need to associate with to grow? So that's going to be connecting with accountability partners, watching, here in Idaho Falls, there's not many people that are further ahead in life than I am with what I've done in Beachbody in the past 5 years. So I have to reach outside on social media. I listen. That's why I listen to 6 hours of personal development a day. I pretend I'm sitting across the table from Tony Robbins. I pretend, like when I'm listening to Tony Robbins, a 2-hour audio, I pretend we're at coffee and he's telling me exactly what I have to do. So that's what I do with my personal development. And then obviously when Janelle is like, do you want to speak on our call? She is further ahead in life than I am. And so that's who I'm associating with currently to grow. My accountability partner is Barbie because she's been longer in this business than I have. So I'm associating with her so that I can grow. So ask yourself every single day, who do I need to associate with to grow? And, because as you begin to build your business, if you're always the one mentoring people, you need somebody also that's going to challenge you and lift you up as well, because you're doing that for other people. So ask yourself that every single day. If you're a brand new coach, who do I need to associate with to grow? That means you need to get on calls like you are right now with Janelle. Get on national wake-up calls to grow and learn from these leaders. So always make the conscious effort to be around people that will help you grow into your potential as a coach. The fourth question that I ask myself every day is, what am I willing to sacrifice? So what am I willing to sacrifice? And it goes back to your first question. What am I willing to sacrifice so that I can achieve this why? Which mine was bring my wife home from work. So what am I willing to sacrifice? For me, it was sleep. It was my nap during my lunch break. I'm a musician. I played music since I was 14 years old. So 20 years of playing the music and listening to music and writing music. So I had to sacrifice listening to music to listening to Jim Rohn, right? So there's all kinds of sacrifice that you have to make in order to grow into your potential. So the next thing is, I think this is like one of the most important ones, is who is counting on you to make this happen? And I'm gonna give it to you on a couple different levels right here. For me, and I'm not gonna talk just about in the beginning when I was working on bringing my wife home. Right now, who's counting on me to make this happen? So I believe to be the greatest, best leader that you can possibly be, you have to be a person of integrity. And if you tell somebody like, I'm your coach, I'm going to be your mentor, like as soon as you sign one coach or one customer, that person is counting on you to make this happen. Like I'm going to tell you, like, people will quit. Janelle said that in the beginning. People will leave. And honestly, that's something I'm working on. That irritates me because that person told somebody that they were going to be their coach and be there and be the example. So I'm so irritated when they walk away because life gets hard for them, because life gets hard for all of us, right? So I want you to think about that about yourself, is who's counting on you to make this happen? So for me, I'll give you all the examples so that you can write down yours. I want you to write down all your answers to these questions. Who's counting on me to make this happen? My wife. My 5 kids are counting on me to make this happen. My mom's been she's been a full-time assistant for me for 3.5 years. I asked her to walk away from the school district. She's counting on me to always build this business so that she has a job working for me. My dad recently, he retired 8 years early at 59 to work for me as well. So he's counting on me. And I look at that and I look at the math of the income I have to replace for him. I have to replace, without him ever getting a raise at the job, over $500,000 that I have to provide him with over the next 8 years. So he's counting on me to continually build this business and mentor people and build my business. He's counting on me. The kids are counting on me. Every single coach, I have about 380 personally sponsored coaches over 5 years. Every single coach I brought on is counting on me to be the example that if they follow what I do, they will be successful in their business. So they're counting on me to be committed to the 3 vital behaviors. They're counting on me to continually grow and be that example for them. So they're counting on me. Every single prospect that I'm talking to that's told me no, that's thinking about it right now, that's going to join in the next 6 months to a year, they're counting on me to be here 12 months from now when they're ready to join. So I think it's important that you look at that. Who's counting on you to make this happen? So I want you guys to write down your answers to all these questions. And I ask myself those questions every single night to make sure that that day I stayed focused on my why, that I'm committed to never quitting and never having that type of mindset. I'm making sure that I associated with someone that's going to help me grow, that I made some sort of sacrifice. Today, my sacrifice is coming home from a surgery and being on this call for you guys. Like, I deliberately made that sacrifice to show people what you can do and what kind of discipline and choices you have to make as a coach to build a business if you want to build one like Janelle has or like I have. And then who's counting on me to make this happen? You guys are counting on me to show up and give you guys some sort of value today. So those are going to be the questions that I asked myself today. So I don't know how long your calls go, Janelle, but
hey, whatever you need. That's how I'm going to go. Whatever you need.
No, so we're about done. But just to close out, I want you guys to know that I want you guys to feel like you are obligated to give somebody this gift. Not to think of it as I'm trying to recruit somebody or I'm trying to sell somebody something, but you feel obligated to give them this gift of how it's changed your life, and find out what they need in their life. What is it that they need, that they struggle with? And sometimes that takes asking hard questions. And one of my best friends from high school recently joined as a coach, and he's been a coach for almost 3 months now. He's only sold 1 challenge pack, but he is committed for life. He did 21 Day Fix Extreme. He went from a 36 pant size to a 28 in 42 days. And he's doing flex pictures now. He feels better than ever. His relationships are better. So Beachbody's changed his life, even though it's not financially yet. Yeah, it's changed his life. But I want to tell you guys, to save his life 3 months ago, right? To be a part of the 3 Lives Club 3 months ago, I had to ask him a hard question. I took him out to lunch because he talked about it, and he has hesitations, and he wanted to be a coach, but it's just too much money is what he told me. Just too much for me to do this. And I had to ask him a hard question. So sometimes you're going to have to ask hard questions. And as you grow in your leadership is going to be asking the right questions to people. And sometimes they're hard, but you got to be bold. You got to be confident and bold in what you have to give people. And so what I said, his name's Garrett. He's like, I really want to do this. And get this, he did 21 Day Fix Extreme for free. He didn't buy it from me. I tried to get him into his challenge pack and get him started. And all of a sudden, he's like, okay, I got 21 Day Fix Extreme. I'm ready to start. So I helped him. Get started. And he had results. So we were talking about coaching at this lunch. And I was like, you would be a great coach, man. You're sharing your transformation on Facebook and you're not even a coach. People are asking you about it. And he's like, I just can't do it, man. $140, I just can't do that. And Shakeology, I can't buy Shakeology every month. And so my hard question to him, and I'm giving you this example so you can think about the questions you can ask your friends or family or prospects when they're not following through, was I said, Garrett, you've been an auto mechanic for 15 years. And he has, he's struggling. He had to buy his own tools, and he has a debt for these tools, and he has debt on his home. And his wife is working, and they have a little daughter named Maddie. And I was like, Garrett, you are an amazing auto mechanic. You've been doing it for 15 years. You're one of the best that there are. You're trustworthy. Like if I'm going to fix my car or somebody needs to fix their car, I'm going to send them to you. Like, you're that person. So I know that you could do this with Beachbody the same way you did it with building your clientele and the people that you help with auto mechanics. And I told him, don't you think it's wrong that after 15 years of being one of the best at what you do, that you can't spend $140 on something that you really want to do? Because you tell me you really want to do this, don't you think there's something wrong with that? That after 15 years, you don't have $140? And don't you think it's time that you change that? That we try something different to change that? And of course, I related with him first, telling him how I had to buy and sell Xboxes and things on Craigslist to get my $40 and then my $100 for Shakeology. I related with him first on that, but then I asked him, don't you think it's wrong? Don't you think it's time that you change or try something different? And that's the thing that made him say, like, that is wrong. Like, I need to change my situation. So it's important that as you go forward to help these people, that you ask them questions, that you get to know them, get to know what they need, and ask them these questions so that you can give them the tools, or the vehicle, I like to call it, for them to hit and achieve their goals. So what I want you guys to know is there is still 6 days left to close out for you guys to lock in your 3 Lives Club. And I know you guys can absolutely do that. And it's going to take a lot of invites. There's times we're running a coach sneak peek right now. I messaged 150 people for that coach sneak peek, and I got 18 people out of that were ready to be in that coach sneak peek. So to be able to hit this goal, you can do it, but you've got to get out and be bold and invite a lot of people. Start talking to a lot of people, find out what they need. I think it's a great time during the Christmas season. Like, some people say it's a bad time, people don't want to commit now. I think it's a great time, because ask them about their plans for the new year. Ask them about, hard question. Have they ever struggled with, having money to buy Christmas presents for the kids? Ask them questions, find out what they need, and if they struggle, and then share with them your message. Relate with them a story, whether it's yours. If you're brand new, relate a fellow coach's story, and share with them your message and why you're doing this and why you want to help them and why you want to change that and how that's going to feel. So it's going to take a lot of inviting, but I know you guys can do it, and it's going to be so worth it to be able to start helping these people achieve their goals. And if you can focus on changing their life and get, we can't change their life, right? And Janelle knows that. She can't change your life. I can't change my coach's life, but we can give them the tools, which is tied into the 3 Lives Club. We can be that example and that encouragement and love on them and encourage them to use those tools to achieve their goals. And my challenge to you guys is that you make that a priority in your business. And I'm sure Janelle gets this question, but people ask all the time, like, how do I get to the Millionaires Club? Or how do I get to the top 10? Or how do I get my wife home? And honestly, it's the personal growth, like massive amounts of personal development, which I'm still doing 5 years later. And then it's me saying I have to find 5 people every month that I can help give this gift that I've received from my coach, Lindsay. I have to give that gift to somebody else. And I have to give it to 5 people a month. And they ask me, how did you get to where you're at? And I'm like, I've done that for 56 months. Like, I want to be relatable with you guys. And Janelle kind of chuckled at it when she was on our call. This is my first sneak peek I'm running right now. 5 years in, I'm still learning things. And last night we were talking about how to do a clean eating. I've never done a clean eating group either. So I'm still learning how to be a better coach. But the one thing that I have done is I've always given this gift to 5 people a month in the 5 Lives Club and been a member of that. So that's my challenge for you guys today. I know it's possible for you. Not only is it possible, but if you have a strong why and some goals, it's necessary for you to begin finding those 3 people that you can give the tools for them to change your life. Once you do that, you're going to become so passionate about this as you see their life start to change. So with that being said, Janelle, I want to just say thank you for letting me talk on your call tonight.
Wow.
Today. I'm used to night. It's only day.
Yeah, don't get ahead of us. Gosh, that was amazing, Scotty. I mean, there were so many important stories that you told there that made such a good point. And that's one thing I really liked about this training, is that we say some, especially me, I'm guilty. I say some of the things over and over and over. And that's why I love having guest speakers, because you'll tell a story that obviously exemplifies the point. And it makes it so much more understandable for people to understand that we're not trying to, recruit people and make sales. We're trying to help people. And just by you telling those stories, you made it so abundantly clear. That's what we're doing. We're not, we're not trying to say, go to my website and buy this. We're saying, well, tell me more about what your issues are. Do you have room at home? What's your schedule like? Like really asking questions and getting involved in their life so that we can really help them, whether it means making a sale or getting a new coach or not. That's not the end game. If you really are reaching out to enough people all the time and you're leading with, just like you said, that approach, like the guy that had approached you when you were at a very, very low point in your life, he just truly wanted to help you. He just truly cared. And that's the way we have to approach all of this. So it's amazing to me that you did this presentation after your No More Baby Surgery, which that's going to be the name of it forever now.
No more baby surgery.
Yeah, and I loved that you shared your story, and that you always do, and that you're always just really open about that, because that's really key with this business, because people cannot relate to your success if they can't relate to your struggle. And I love that you pointed out the whole prejudging thing, because we've all been guilty of that. I've been guilty of that myself. And I have all walks of life on my team, because it's really, truly about, like you said, at the core of us as human beings, we want to look good, we want to feel good.
Yeah.
And we do want to feel like we can help other people. We want to feel like we have a purpose in life. So regardless of what someone is currently making or not making, or what they're currently doing with their time or not doing with their time, at the heart of just being a human being, we want to look good, we want to feel good. And so if we can just approach people knowing that somewhere in there's probably something this business can do for them. We already know we can make this business whatever we want to make it, so regardless of who the person is, they can take it in whatever direction they want to take it, and it can really benefit them. So seeing this business as a gift to them and just letting them know about it is absolutely huge. So with that, thank you, Scotty, so much for all the preparation you did for this call. Everyone I know is just loving this call and took lots of notes. I hope you guys took lots of notes like I did. So everyone, have a happy Thanksgiving. If you're in the U.S., have a happy Thanksgiving tomorrow. And we will be having our call next week, of course. And next week, I'm going to be doing the critical core activity. So Scotty, of course, your team is welcome to watch that as well. So that's next week, doing a revamp of the critical core activities. And with that, everyone, have a great afternoon. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye-bye.
Nice.
Thank you.